kill her and saying that he can't live without her.
This just proves that Heathcliff is an illegitimate child because they both have mood swings. And maybe the dad had mood swings. Maybe it's hereditary. Maybe it's past that.
Okay.
You
You can look up that tonight when you're researching her diagnosis.
I will.
Because actually one of the theories as to what is wrong with her is about these mood swings, because there are disorders where you have extreme mood swings.
Oh,
Got it, don't worry about it.
So Catherine marries Edgar and is going to give his money to Heathcliff. Heathcliff only hears half of this conversation. Let's see, he's hiding in the background and she says, where's the part that she talks about? Oh, this is on 59. She says, I've no more business to marry Edgar Linton than I have to be in heaven. And if the wicked man in there had not brought Heathcliff so low, I shouldn't have thought of it. It would degrade me to marry Heathcliff now, so he shall never know how I love him. And that, not because he's handsome, Nellie, but because he's more myself than I am. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. And Lytton's is as different as a moonbeam from lightning or frost from fire. So all Heathcliff hears is, it would degrade her to marry him, and then he runs away. He doesn't hear the part about that she loves him and that their souls are one, that whole speech.
Lightning and moonbeams aren't that different.
What about lightning and moonbeams?
They aren't that different. They both give you light-ish, and...
Did you really put that much thought into that?
They are, but they're very different.
They're not.
I mean, they're both natural
They're
elements.
weather, yeah, exactly.
But lightning is like
Not weather.
Lightning is like bam.
strike, electricity, and a moonbeam's like
Yeah, but it's like...
far away.
No, they're not that
The only
different.
similarity is that they both emit light.
Exactly. They're light. I'll give them frost or fire.
Frost or fire.
They're pretty different.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
they are.
What do you make of this? How can we characterize this relationship between Catherine and Heathcliff?
It's kind of a.
Heathcliff's
Is it-
like that uncle.
Is it like
You don't
brother
know
sister?
now.
Is it like soulmates? Is it love? Is it lust? Is it
It's.
Well,
I would
Is
say
it
it's
not?
lust. I'd have to say it's lust, or
okay?
like how if a brother and sister were in love, how it would go down.
Okay.
Because I've never seen that happen before, and this is what I'd imagine it would be like.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. It's just weird beyond all belief, and this is what I'd imagine it would be
Ray,
like.
do you think
It is weird, and it's made sort of especially weird by the language they use to speak to each other. She says that he's more myself than I am. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. So that's a little
Perfect.
more than he's my brother,
They're
we get
twins.
along well. She's saying that they have the same soul, and he is more myself than I am. So that's a little bit on the creepy in between weird relationship end of things.
It's just it's
Huh?
it's disgusting.
And then she says, she continues the creepiness after he's walked away. She gives this long explanation about their relationship. This is on page 60. This is one of the most famous passages probably from the book. And this is in that second full paragraph that starts, it is not, she retorted she is the best. Near the end of that paragraph, she's talking about her love, and she says, my love for Linton is like the foliage in the woods. Time will change it, I'm well aware, as winter changes the trees. My love for Heathcliff resembles the eternal rocks beneath, a source of little visible delight, but necessary. Nellie, I am Heathcliff. He's always, always in my mind. Not as a pleasure, any more than I am always a pleasure to myself, but as my own being. So don't talk of our separation again. It is impracticable, and she gets cut off. All right, so what is that telling us about her two relationships?
She wants to,
Okay.
and she's saying that her love for Heathcliff will never end, but her love for what's his name, Edgar, may change over time.
Right. So she's readily admitting that her relationship with her husband is something that is going to change. Like the foliage in the woods. But the love for Heathcliff is eternal. Alright, so we're going to start to get this dichotomy of changing, fleeting, and yet eternal with Heathcliff. And then she goes into this whole thing about I am Heathcliff. He's always in my mind. Not as a pleasure, any more than I am always a pleasure to myself, but as my own being. Okay, so what is this I am Heathcliff thing? How is she him? They're not
Personality?
Schizophrenia.
mentally,
Personality-wise,
personality-wise, they're very compatible.
they'd be a good match on eHarmony.
Do you think? Because there's times that they're not so nice to each other.
But they can take, like, some people can't take Heathcliff's tantrums or Catherine's tantrums, but they can.
Okay. So they're the only ones who can sort of withstand each other?
Yeah.
That's true love right there.
Yeah, I mean, does that make a good relationship?
Yeah,
I can
but also
stand being around you.
they're related, so maybe they're just used to it.
Okay,
Exactly.
they were raised together, which probably explains one of the reasons why they can get along. Can you get along well with your brothers and
But
sisters?
Hindley doesn't get along with Heathcliff.
Not at all.
This is true. Hindley also doesn't get along with Heathcliff. Hindley is a little bit older, which I guess could play in the role. Hindley was also afraid that Heathcliff was going to steal his inheritance, so they kind of got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, me too.
But, so, to Catherine, she and Heathcliff are one and the same. They have the same soul. They have the same mind. She thinks about him all the time. Very, very interconnected on more than just a physical level. There's never actually any mention of them being together physically, if that helps with the grossness factor. So,
But wait, doesn't Catherine get pregnant? Become pregnant?
Catherine does get pregnant
Then how do we know it's not Heathcliff's child?
because she gets, okay, because this is going to involve doing some math. Yeah. Okay, we find out that she's pregnant in March of 1783. And you'll find out tonight, well, I don't want to give it away.
Just give it away.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Just give
Yeah,
it
she's
away.
gonna have the baby tonight.
Oh, she dies in childbirth.
And so
Yeah,
when the
I read
baby
that
is
on Catherine
born, it's
also.
only 7 months. It's called a 7 months child, so she's not full term at 7 months. So 7 months minus March is what month?
January.
64. October.
December?
Count back.
January.
7 months.
November.
Oh,
June.
I was going
January,
forward.
February,
July.
March,
March.
April, May, June,
5.
July,
January, December,
June.
November, October.
You're very talented.
August.
August.
I said that, yes.
No, you
Okay.
did.
That's like
So therefore, the daughter, the
Why
child was conceived in August. During August, Heathcliff was not returned from his 3-year random absence
3 years
Okay.
of absence.
when he was making his money in the army. He's
Years.
still gone in August.
I think he was a mobster.
So therefore, the child is Edgar's. It's okay.
Only if you put the spammer wrap on
Well, presumably she does. We don't find that out.
Wait, why did she have baby?
March. We find out she's pregnant only like 2 weeks before she has the kid.
Was Edgar's?
Presumably she would know because if
So
you're 7
good,
months
yeah.
pregnant, I think you're aware of the fact that you're pregnant at that point. It seems pretty apparent.
Does Edgar get to, does Heathcliff get to talk to her before she dies?
Yes. Okay. Heathcliff returns in September. So Heathcliff is still gone. If she conceives the child in August, he returns in September. So there's no chance that it's this child. All right. We'll pick up with this.
On Facebook.
I'm really glad this all makes sense and whatnot.
Like the Facebook.